Hi everybody. How is everyone? Do you hear me okay? Do you hear me okay? Hi everybody. Okay, let me say hi to everyone first. Um, okay. Are you all set for J Hope's concert? I hope everyone has their tickets. To all of my Patreon subscribers, I think most of us, except for the ones that are in LA, we have most of them. Most of us already have our tickets. So let me just close some windows so that there is no delay. Hi. I miss you all. I'm sorry for not being here last week. I was in a conference, and conferences are always so tricky. They're so um, tiring. There's always so much to do. But let me say hi to everybody first. Becky, Farah, Leah, Darren, Rosika, Pampered Panda, Alana, JR, Han, Leah, HHK, Beth, Marie, Hoan, Chris, Celeste, Melanie, Angel Star, Jean, Ice Rose, Flowy, Tisa, Hania, Hoan, Disha, Chris, Claudia, Debbie, Kathleen, Dawn Marie, Halina, Nil Vanil, Carol, Jackie, Rachel, Shelling, Dodger Girl, Jean Mark, Alana, Chicky, Sinri, Diana, Soul, Gail, Kathleen, Hi Bang Luna, Faiza, Rachel, Namhar, Caribbean Lady, Joanna, Belle, Arlene, Elaine. Oh, Elaine, I haven't seen you here in a while, right? Ray, Miso Soup, BTS Paved the Way, Booney, MG, Viti, Daniil, um, W, Gone 69, and Jessica. Hello, how is everyone? So, most of us, if you're a member of my Patreon, I know that most of us already have our tickets. The only ones that don't have them, Suhaila, hello, Bea, I think are the ones from LA, those that are waiting for the general sale, not general sale, but the sale, the opening of the ticketing for California, for LA. So, but some of us in LA already have tickets. So, if you're one of them, I just want to make sure that you read my post in Patreon. Please, if you're joining me in the suite, please make sure to give me your shirt size and your bias because I'm preparing some giveaways for you. Elizabeth, hello, Ray, Marian. Yeah. Hi. My dog is looking at me. Do you mind if he says hi? Come here. Come here. He wants to say hi. Hello. Hi, everybody. Here he is. Hi. Hi. Say hi, baby. Hi. Hello. So cute. They said you're so cute. Okay. Did anyone new come in? Joanna, Booney, Angel Star. Okay, so if you're joining me in the suite, make sure that you give me your bias and your shirt size. I'm preparing some giveaways for you guys. Someone said that their bias is actually V, which is a good thing because I still have some merch from his exhibit. So I'll give her some of my merch for the exhibit. Hi, doggy. Hi. They're saying hi to you, Daebak. Say hi to them. Say hi. Isn't that a pose? Isn't that a model pose? Okay, you can lie down. Good. Okay, so let me just go through. So cute. Um, so was there any question? Because some people are saying yes. Angel Star. Okay. Uh, okay. So let's go through some things. It's been an exciting. As I've said, I was like, "Are you asking just for the suite, not city view on the 7th?" Therein, I am gonna try. I don't know if they will allow me to go to the city view. So on the 4th is the suite, and the 6th is the city view. So in the city view on the 6th, I'm going to be there. So yes, please give me your bias and your shirt size. And then for the 4th, I'm going to be in the suite, but I there are some who actually bought the city view as well. So I don't know if they're going to allow me to go to the city view. So on the 4th, if they do, then I'll be able to hand the giveaways. If not, then I don't know. Maybe I will. I mean, I bought a lot, so I will live. Florida said, "I will live vicariously through all of you who get to go to the concert. I'm trying to play this on my TV, but it is restricting the view, though my setting is not on restricted mode. Anyone help, please? Thanks." I don't know. What kind of do you not see the chat or something? What kind of restriction are you experiencing? I'm gonna give it a shot for LA. Yeah, so for LA, I think we do have some more tickets standing in the suite, although there are in the suite there so there's like seat outside the suite inside the venue, so you can actually like sit down in the stadium. And then inside the suite, like the first row, they're going to open the glass door, so the first row off bar stool, and then there are standing, so we can actually, if you want to be in the suite, you can stand, although there are bar stools. It's just that you're gonna be behind the first set of bar stool, if that makes sense. Um, sorry, not it is not playing on my TV. Okay, cute doggy. He is very cute. So yeah, so if you want to join us in the suite, there is still some tickets left, but it's primarily for standing. I'm bummed I couldn't make it to the end New York show. I kind of, if I don't have work and if I have the freedom to do anything that I want, I also would attend the uh the New York show, because I think J. Cole is actually going to be there. I think at one point he's going to make a surprise appearance, and he's my favorite rapper. Him and Eminem. So it's like toe to toe. So I kind of want to see him live, but what can I do? I have to work. How much are the standing room tickets? Miso soup. You're gonna have to just go to. I haven't actually finished computing because they sold the entire suite as like a whole. So I'm trying to divide the ones that are with the chairs and with the seat inside the stadium versus the ones that are standing. But as I've said, even though it's called standing, there are actually bar stools inside the suite. It's just that you're gonna be behind the ones that are who paid for the bar stools. So are you going to? Yes, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be in the suite with you guys, and you're going to meet my mom as well because she's going to be there too. Um, Cindy, hello. Looks like Daebak is yeah, he is. He likes getting scratches behind his ear. Actually, any part of his body he's good at, for as long as he um yes, so you're going to meet my mom. I'm trying to get her, so I have my army bomb, but I only have one. So I'm trying to get one more for her. So let's see how's that going to happen, but I'm trying to get one more for her. Elaine, why can you attend, Elaine? Okay, so happy for those who would be there. So yeah, so if you're going to join us in the suite, let me know. And also, food is included. So the food is actually already baked into the price of the ticket. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to say, oh, I don't want food or whatever, but I don't have a choice because the BMO, anything in California is just, it's just a cash grab. So when they sold it to me, they were like, no, you're going to have food or we're going to give it to somebody else. So is Hobie included? um, well, I wish I could just kidnap Hobie, right? Okay. I live in Hawaii. Oh, Elaine. Okay, Elaine, you're gonna have to try and watch them when they do OT7, like the BTS tour. So it's okay. Just save for that. Chicago doesn't include food. I know Chicago does not include food, but in LA, I think it's because a lot of people were trying to get the a suite. When they sold it to me, they sold it with food. So there's just like I will either get it or not get it or whatever. So and so it's not bad though. Yeah, I was actually seeing uh sweet pricing. It was like 685 and it was like even with food it's not going to go to 600. So I don't know how much they're actually putting on that price, but if he shows up she will run. I go what if I go, I want to hang out with Fairlane, can't have her. San Antonio doesn't include food. Yeah, Texas does not include food, just LA. I think it will be nice with food. Yeah, I mean, I would hope that you guys can come a little early so that we can talk, like bond a little, get to know each other. And as I've said, we're actually going to. I have some giveaways for you guys, so it would be nice to see you guys open it up, see if you like it. Uh, so yeah, it's a lot of stuff that I hope that you can actually enjoy. Tomorrow is the battle, right? Oh Lord, yes. Tomorrow is when you actually. So for those who are trying, is it HHK the who's trying to get like a VIP ticket? Unfortunately, you can't pass VIP tickets. So no one can get it for you. You're gonna have to get it yourself if you want VIP. I was offered 450 per person for 10 people with food is extra. Hoan Yun, I was offered 450. So Hoan is saying that he got an offer for 450 per person for 10 people. And food is extra. So yeah, that's the pricing that he got for a suite. Is that it? Hoan, is that for a suite? VIP is non-transferable, correct. So just keep those things in mind tomorrow. Darren said in San Antonio, we have seats. Will they let us visit you in suite? I don't think so. I don't think, I can't speak for Texas, but for BMO, they will not allow you inside the suite if you don't have tickets for the suite. Because if you go in the suite, you will have access to the lounge upstairs, like the VIP area upstairs. So that's how it is for LA. I'm not sure how it is for Texas. Okay. How many fit in a suite? So the regular tickets with seats, regular seats where you can actually get a seat inside a stadium. So you have a suite where you will eat and interact, and then you can go in front of the suite. There are seats. That's 16, a total of 16. And then additional six tickets for standing. I paid 600 for regular seat. What? Jilly said she paid 600 for a regular seat. Where? What city is that? Because the suite in LA is not going to go up to 600 and that already includes food. So, is that did you pay like Ticketmaster or resale? So maybe we can figure meet up prior to going in. Darren is asking for San Antonio, Bang Luna, Darren is asking, is there a way for you to meet up before going in? Okay. Jilly Bin said 600 is platinum pricing in Oakland. So platinum pricing is the, what do you call that? The the pricing that changes in Ticketmaster. That's what platinum pricing is. So it changes. It can go up and down depending on the demand. And that's one of the reasons I decided to get a suite as well. Dynamic pricing. There you go. So platinum pricing is dynamic pricing. So we are going to the reason I decided to get a suite this time is because I have my mom with me, and of course it's not, I can make her stand for like 5 hours anymore. So I decided, okay, I've done everything. I've been to the barricade, I've done VIP, like all the experiences with BTS. And because I've been a fan for such a long time, I've been attending their concerts since they were like, since when? I don't even remember the first time that Red Bullet, I think, is the first time that I actually attended their concert. And so I've experienced everything. So I'm like, I'm okay now. I just want to be a part of the experience. So I just decided to get a suite. And when we do OT7, I'll probably be doing the same thing. Jilly said she has never seen BTS. Okay, actually, that's part of some of the things that I actually wanted to discuss with you guys to make experience better for everybody. Um, okay, let me see. Let's go to the very first. So, just some good news first. As you know, I always try to start with something positive. So, this is according to About Music, and this is the most streamed K-pop song or artist. Sorry, most streamed K-pop artist in Spotify this week. So, this was the last week. So, BTS is number one. Anything purple is BTS, and then pink is Rose. Blue is Jimin, like navy blue, and then Stray Kids is orange. This is Stray Kids. If you know your geography, then it will be easier for you to identify which countries this are. And then Jungkook is green. That's Jungkook. Jin is black. So that's Jin. Anything black is Jin. V is yellowish, like this one. Jenny is red. This is Jenny. And then 17 is a little gray is nothing. So it's a little hard to see 17, but Lisa is maroon, which is this one. So so that's BTS is number one, and then Rose is number two at pink with the color pink. So this is Canada, this is the US, Alaska, Mexico, Brazil. I don't know my geography anymore. Um, Australia, Philippines. Who? This is Kazakhstan. Is it Kazakhstan? Oh, I'm so embarrassed. I don't know my geography anymore. Japan, Philippines, um, Thailand. No. So yeah, just an interesting map. But it's interesting because you kind of sees are actually streaming for certain artists, and yeah. So this is, I know this is China, Russia, China and Russia, or did I? Am I right? Oh my god, this is embarrassing. I'm forgetting my geography, but it's hidden by the camera box. Oh, okay, all right. So this is New Zealand. It's pink. So this is dominated by BTS. So I guess, Jimin and Jungkook. This is Jimin. He's really, really dominating the US. Okay, interesting, right? I find really hard. Chris said, I find it really hard that Belgium is rosé. Every TikToker used apathy on their video. I wish I can go. Well, yeah, let's not get into paid and whatever, but this is the chart right now. So BTS is still the most, and I mean, clap to Brazil. They're still very much into BTS, and of course the US. Jimin dominates SK. Yes, he dominates SK, and then Japan is BTS. Yep. So Jimin is this Kazakhstan? Am I correct? So this is Jimin, US. this is US, this is Alaska. Um, and then what is this? I'm surprised Jimin is dominating the US over BTS. He has the latest release. So, and I don't know, a lot of people don't believe this, but many of his streams are actually GP. It's just people playing his song. I don't know why it's so hard to believe that. But even when I went to Las Vegas, every time I would go down, so I attended a conference in Las Vegas, and every time I would go down the casino to walk out, not to gamble, his song will always be playing. So just someone is listening, I guess. It is the newest release, yes. So interesting, right? And then these are their wins for every award show. So People's Choice Awards, they have 13, VMAs, they have 10, and of course they actually won the highest award for the for American Music Award. They have 11, but they won the highest music award, which is the Artist of the Year, and they have 12 Billboard Music Awards. So it's just uh, like I'm just in awe of the things that they have achieved on the West. And this is just the US. We aren't even talking about UK. Jazzy, hi Jazzy. Yes, I wish to. There are more armies in Austria. Okay, so now let's go to J Hope, his concert. It's going to happen soon, but before that, he's going to be releasing his album. So this is we're gonna have to try our very best to get him inside Billboard Hot 100. I hope that we can get him inside top 10, or at the very least top 20, right? So, but that's not gonna happen with if we don't actually do anything about it. So this is my suggestion. If you don't want to interrupt your streaming using your favorite playlist, I'm sure that a lot of you um, already have playlists that you like playing. My suggestion is to actually get a second paid account by getting in touch with accounts that are funding temporary accounts to stream latest releases. So get in touch with J Hope bias accounts on X, FB, and IG. I do drink virgin. I don't drink anymore. So if you wanna I know a lot of people actually frown on this because they insist that if you are just supporting one member, you're a solo or whatever. So my rule is that I would go to the accounts page, like the accounts owner page. And if they have done anything to disparage or to hate against other members, I don't get in touch with that person. But believe it or not, there are accounts that are just like silently working for their favorite for their favorite member, and that's okay for me. For as long as you're not saying anything against other members and you're just supporting your favorite, I'm okay. So there's a lot there. Get in touch with them. The rule with this is that you cannot stream anything else. They will give you a playlist to stream, and because they control the account, they will know if you're not streaming a playlist that they ask you to stream. So but that's the best way for you to be able to support the member that had just released something without interrupting your playlists. Okay, so the T Style said, "Oh yeah, Fairlane came to Vegas and didn't take me up on Margarita. We could have her." Oh, T Style, were you there? I was asking in Patreon if anyone was actually from Vegas. I was like, "Let's meet up." I did not know that you're from there. Okay. The Buy Explorer said, "I also hear who in places like Circle K, Walmart, etc." Question: New Jeans is not with Ador, right? Didn't they go to court? They are still with Ador, and we'll get in touch with that later. Let's continue with J Hope first. The other option is for you to get a second paid streaming account. You're gonna have to do paid. This is the way. Please do paid because Spotify free isn't really doing it for us. Okay, so you're gonna have to do paid. Okay, so Amazon Music, Apple Music, Spotify Music, YouTube Premium, and Napster, and apparently Deezer. I think we'll get to that later. But they for us get something that is paid. So the good news is that many of this, if you don't have a paid account, they have promos. So for several months, you'll be able to subscribe without actually paying for as long as you remember to unsubscribe before the promo is up, then you're okay. So utilize the promo. For example, Napster, which is also getting reported to Billboard Hot 100, there is a 30-day free for new users. So subscribe for 30 days, and then before the 30th day, give yourself a reminder, unsubscribe. Okay. Next is for Apple Music. If you don't have Apple Music, there is a free promo for 3 months. You can get it for free. Okay. Apple Music is really good because no, it's so hard to manipulate their stats. So get that, Apple Music. For Amazon, I'm sorry, it's so small, but they also have a free 3-month trial. So Amazon Music is one. You don't need an Amazon account. Well, if you open an Amazon Music account, you will have an Amazon account, but it doesn't necessarily have to be paid. Um, okay. And then Tidal, oh, this it's Tidal. So Tidal is now premium only, but you can also have a 30-day free access. So those are the paid streaming platforms that you can utilize the promo of. My suggestion is this: get in touch with the those that fund accounts first, and then, for example, if you get with them, if they give you 2 months or 1 month, after that is done, you won't be able to use the account anymore. Then you shift to this promo, or you can do it the other way: use the promo first and then get in touch with the funding accounts, so that the streams become premium. So please, we need to stream premium. Okay. Um, MG said, I agree. I have Apple Music and it makes it hard to go back to Spotify. Apple Music has way better quality in sound. You will hear it. If you are in Spotify and then you go to Apple Music, you're going to be surprised in the quality of their music, of the sound. The sonic quality is so different. Part of what I was recording was, the Bio Explorer said, part of what I was recording was J-Hope talking about how Jimin helped him not be so nervous. Oh yeah, okay. Yes, I do remember that when he said that. Okay, so next tip: stream like a human being, not like a bot. A lot of people make a mistake of, like, they will put the, like, for their playlist, 99% will be one song. It doesn't matter if it has remixes, you're going to get flagged and none of your streams will count. So stream like a human being. Remember that having 20 counted streams, that is way better than having 500 uncounted streams. So don't avoid your account getting banned or filtered. Stream like a human being. There's a lot of us, so you don't have to worry. Now for the concert, so we still have available tickets. So for LA, we have 2 tickets in the Sunset Suite, and then for standing, 6 tickets standing. Texas, we have 2 more tickets standing. New York, we have 2 tickets, and we have way more. I haven't actually finished uploading all the available tickets. Some of these tickets, other members are letting go of them because they got a better one or whatever. So I'll put that in Patreon. If you want, please subscribe. It is free, so you will be able to see it without paying in Patreon. This is a sample of the suite in Texas. So Frost Suite, I think, is the name in Texas. And then um this is how it looks like. Wait. So that's how it looks like, the suite in Texas. Pretty neat, right? So that's where you're going to be. Of course, obviously they got some food there. Okay. So that's for the Texas suite. And then for available tickets for, wait a minute. So for, wait, let me stop sharing first so I can show you the suite that we are going to have in um, in LA. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I thought it's already set. My dog is getting impatient. Okay, here is the suite for LA. So we are in Sunset Suite. There. So this is how it's going to look like if we have food, which we will have. So this door, the glass door is going to be open. So the last four tickets that will be sold will be here, sitting here. And then the rest, those that are standing, you will be able to utilize this bar stool, but you're going to have to be behind them. Okay. And then um, you have, these are the chairs where so it's inside the stadium. Then you can watch J-Hope. Okay, so okay, any questions on this? Next time, Patreon family. So nice. I so wish I could have made Texas or LA work next time, Patreon family. Yes, the Bio Explorer. I hope that we can have one grand meeting in when BTS actually does their tour. Of course, it's going to be a battle. Even for the suites, it's going to be a battle. So, but I hope that we can like really have like one big meet up, right? Daebak must have missed you. He was with me in Las Vegas. I usually bring him everywhere. It's rare for me to leave him at home. Las Vegas will be great. I don't drink though, but that's fine. Okay. So that's how it looks like for the suite in LA. It's really good. And then you'll have access to the suites upstairs, which is, let me see if I can show you. That's why they're very strict, because you will have access to the lounge upstairs. Here. Where is that? So there's a lounge upstairs where there are bars and you can sit around and if you have ticket for the suite, you will have access to the bar and the hangout area. So now nice, right? It's like Instagrammable. Wiki, I need ticket for LA. We still have several tickets for LA. If you are you a member of my Patreon? There's two more in the suite and then six standing. Okay. The best part of a suite is the private bathroom. That is the best part. And also part of the reason I decided to get a suite, because my mom is so particular about it. So she needs a really, really clean bathroom. So I decided to get that. And I really, more than anything, I really want to interact with you guys. I really want to meet with you. So I decided to get a suite. And also, always I want to say this is all thanks to Bang Luna, because this is her idea. All the sweet thing, that this is her idea. So let's thank Bang Luna for this. The VIP entrance is also another. It's not going to be difficult. The thing is that for LA, the Sunset Suite does not include bathroom. I mean, the not bathroom, the parking, which I was hoping to get. But anyway, I'm gonna have to get that separate. Okay, are all the seats taken for the front view of the suite? Yes. So it will be there's two more bar stool, and then standing, which as I've said, you can actually use the bar stool inside the suite. It's just that you're gonna be behind the ones that are in the bar stool. Bang Luna is certainly a rock star. This is her idea. I'm just copying her idea. Thank you for being brilliant. Yes, let's thank Bang Luna. I'd be interested in joining a sweet group for BTS, New York and New Jersey. Um, I don't, nobody in our Patreon has that, but I've seen some being sold for New York, but they're like 600 and above. So I don't know. Yeah. Maybe you guys will see each other famous people on the suite level. Maybe. But I'm there for J Hope. So unless it's another member. Okay. So for those that are traveling to a certain place, like for example, if people in Texas are going to be meeting up, I would suggest you can always talk in Patreon. So in our Patreon, you can converse and set up something, or you can also create a WhatsApp or a Telegram group so that it's easier for you guys to talk. Because the one advantage if you have a group is that you know everyone that will be in that group will be those that are going to be in the suite, right? So it's easier to coordinate. So just make sure that you check the profile of the person before accepting it. I'm sure you know that. I just want to remind you guys. And then make this about J Hope through and through. I'm actually planning to do like a small banner, and then just so he knows, like it's all about him. I don't know if I'll be able to all do all of that, but that's my plan. And also, just want to warn everybody that there is going to something is going to happen before the release. As we know, we haven't failed yet. Every time a BTS member has a major project, a scandal goes off, like she gets interviewed, whatever. So um please posting something positive about J-Hope, his concert, his album, or retweeting, liking, sharing a video or any kind of content that is about J-Hope and his album and his concert. So but let's expect that because it has not failed yet. Every time there is a major project, something happens. So I believe this is it's going to be the same for this one, and this is going to be a major um it's going to be a major achievement for J-Hope because he's going to be the first soloist, Asian native soloist that will actually sell out a stadium in the US. So, at Rona Nicolas, Fairy Lane has a free tier on Patreon. Yes, there is a free tier in Patreon. So most of BTS content and the community for BTS, it's actually free. So you'll be able to join. And then there's just some content that are behind a paywall, but for the most part, you'll be able to see, like for this ticketing, the chat for BTS, it's all free. So you'll be able to do that. um okay, don't these people have something better to do? Well, this is the better thing to do for them, to try and destroy BTS and the achievements of BTS. Okay, to those that are joining me in the suite, please give me your shirt size and who's your bias. So please don't forget to do that so I can prepare the giveaways for you. I will only be giving for all the BTS related materials. I'm just going to be giving you authentic, like real BTS merch. I hope they leave BTS alone. Apple Bangpo says, I hope they leave BTS alone. Can they not focus on their own mess? Elizabeth Besco says, prayers for MC, family, friends, and emergency workers. Bang Luna said, I can't bring anything into our suite. You won't be able to? Wow, I have to ask that. But okay, for LA visitors, you can, if you're not a local in LA, you can visit the Line Friends store in downtown. So there's BT21 authentic merch there. Just be very careful. It's not in downtown, it's in Hollywood, not in downtown. So it's in Hollywood. But if you're visiting, I do not suggest you drive to Line Store because the parking is going to kill you. It's like 25 per hour or something. It's just like a crazy thing. So don't bother. Just try and get Uber or something. But it's a nice story. It's not as big as the one in Korea, but it's a nice one. The only other place I would suggest you go is Grammy Museum if you want to get immersed in the exhibit of Hybe is not there anymore, but you will be able to just look around and look at the history. They have different exhibits every now and then. And then if you want some recommendations on restaurants like where J-Hope had dinner or something, let me know. Ask me. I will let you know in Patreon. I did not stalk him, by the way. It's just that people are actually posting pictures and I am recognizing those restaurants. So he really likes Korean barbecue. So I will let you know. So again, I did not stalk him. People are posting pictures of him eating in a restaurant in Koreatown, and I'm very close to Koreatown, so I recognize what those restaurants are. Okay. Um, Anything else? Do you have questions? These are some of the stuff that you will find there. uh, they have I am now the only thing I probably will go to line store because I need a new hoodie of the new Mang, because I have the old one and they changed it, so now I need a new Mang hoodie. Okay, don't park too far from from line friends. It's a scary street to walk on. There's a lot of unstable people walking around in Hollywood. It's not, remember, it's not in downtown, it's in Hollywood. Okay, but so there's a lot of unstable people that are going around there. So if you're going to drive, which I do not suggest you do, but if you're going to drive, if you insist on driving, try to park as close as possible to it, to the store. And also, it's going to be super expensive. It's like going to be like 35 or something. I don't know. It's going to be super expensive. So try to just get an Uber if you are going there. But if you really want to just drive, get park very close to the store. One say it is in some reporting is not. Okay. Um, there is, Erica said there is a big art museum in the outskirts of LA that I recommend. It's famous, so I think it will show up on what to do in LA. LACMA is another place where you can visit. BTS actually had their a pictorial there during the early days of their career. Yeah, LACMA. There's a lot of spots. So just if you want recommendations, I will put it in Patreon if you're traveling to LA. A private jet is owned by Vince Neil, the lead singer of Motley Crue. Are you going to an after party? I am not going to go to an after party. I feel like after the concert, I'm just going to like drop dead because I'm going to be so tired. The Getty Museum is great and it's free. The Getty Museum is great. It's a little far from LA, from Hollywood, but it's worth it. It's worth going there. I sometimes go there like if I just want to hang or something. I can put some notes in Patreon for LA too. Yes, Jessica, that's a good idea. Um, Miss Fairy Lane, how long is your hair now? I don't know. I'm not really, once it reaches my waist, my non-existent waist, I cut it and then I donate it. Who has the energy? Okay. So let's go discuss New Jeans first, or do you want to go BTS first? Let's discuss New Jeans first. All right. So New Jeans announced that they're actually changing their name to NJZ, and in the midst of the ongoing Adore feud. So it's, I think Rolling Stone and Billboard are the two major publications that actually picked up the news, and they had an interview in CNN. And this is CNBC Korea interviewing them. All right. So now, after that interview, Ador sent a letter to different media companies. It's a formal request to stop using NJZ and use New Jeans instead, because they're saying that this is still under their IP. They're still under contract with Ador, so they should be addressed as New Jeans. All right. Let me just put down my dog. You want to go down, baby? You want to go down? He doesn't want to go down. You have to go down. Say bye bye. Say bye bye. 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 Say bye bye. Say bye, man. Bye. He's like, why are you putting me down? Okay. All right. So now they, Adore and Hybe sent, well, Adore specifically sent a letter of request to all media companies to start calling them New Jeans, and don't call them NJZ. So the question a lot of people are asking is that, can Adore actually force media companies to use New Jeans instead of NJZ? Okay, that's a lot of people's question. Now, just want to do a disclaimer that I'm not a lawyer, so this is not a legal advice. Treat this as an initial research and should not be taken as a comprehensive legal study of the case. Uh, Much of this is based on research, also because I am in the industry, so I have access to lawyers. So I did ask them about these things, like exact provisions about the grounds or um, the regulations that Adore can use to force media companies to address them as new jeans again. All right, so legal Adore and Hybe might be able to sue a media outlet or anyone actually making public declarations not using new jeans to refer to Adore's group. So they can. That is the answer. They can. They most likely will sue if a media company continues to call them NJZ instead of New Jeans. Okay, so what are the legal provisions? First is the trademark infringement if the name is legally owned. So they have to make sure that they own New Jeans and the entity and the IP of New Jeans. So if the entertainment company owns the trademark rights to a group's original name, they can argue that calling them by any other name dilutes the brand or creates confusion. Okay, so that's the arguments that they can use. If you don't call them, if you start calling Colgate like by another, like Arm and Hammer toothpaste or something, then Colgate can actually sue and say, "Why are you calling us?" Or Sensodyne, for example. The, Colgate can actually say, "Why are you calling our product Sensodyne? It's going to confuse the market. It's actually Colgate." So that's the principle behind it. If a media outlet continuously refers to the group or the brand by a new name that is not legally recognized, the company may sue for trademark infringement or brand misrepresentation. Okay. Second grounds, contractual breach. If the group is still under contract. So if the group is still legally under contract with the company and the company holds the rights to the group's name, the company could argue that media misrepresentation undermines the contract and confuses the public. So kind of the same, but this one is focused more on the contract. So the critical thing is if Adore is able to prove that the contract is still valid, then they have grounds to actually sue the media companies. Example is if Adore is asking media outlets to continue calling the group New Jeans rather than NJZ, it is likely based on a claim that the members are still legally under contract with Adore. Okay. Next is defamation. They can sue for defamation if the name change implies false information. So if a media company intentionally misrepresents a group's name in a way that will harm the brand or the agency's representation, then the company could sue for defamation. So defamation basically means anything that could destroy your brand or destroy your name. So if addressing them as New Jeans undermines the brand of New Jeans and Adore, then that's defamation. So you're basically, the media is essentially saying that since you're not honoring the name that we gave them, it means that you're undermining my authority and the legality of our contract. So, okay, next, false advertising or commercial misrepresentation. If the media company profits from using the name incorrectly, like if they're selling a merchandise or tickets under New Jeans, then the company could claim false advertising or unfair business practice. I know a lot of you are going to ask, so this new festival where they're going to be playing, can Hybe actually sue them? Okay. If the media outlet markets New Jeans content as NJZ without legal recognition, then Adore could sue for misleading consumers. Now, this is not to say that the media doesn't have an out. They definitely have an out. They can defend themselves by invoking freedom of the press, which is very sacred in the US. If the new name is used for journalistic reporting, it may be protected under free speech laws. Okay, so if, for example, there is no malice in here, they're just saying that this group actually states that they are now NJZ instead of New Jeans, then the press, the media company can say, well, We are just stating a fact. We're not saying that they are NJZ. We're just saying that they are claiming to be NJZ. So they should be able to prove that there is no malice in what they are doing. Um, okay. Is so Jessica, oh sorry, Leia is asking, saying that I don't have any slideshow. Do you not see my slides? Are you not seeing my slides? Okay, so let me see. And then I'll try again. I've been talking here and you're not slides. How about now? Yes. Okay. All right. Yes. Okay, perfect. Okay, so one of the defenses that they can use is the freedom of the press. If the media states that we're not saying that they are NJZ, we're simply saying they are claiming to be NJZ, that is the right of the media to report the news. So they can say, nope, that's just freedom of the press. You cannot control what we report or not report. Okay. Next is, of course, context matters. So, if a media company clearly states that the name change is part of an ongoing dispute, they are less likely to be sued. So, if you would watch the CNN interview, I think it was CNN, in the last portion, the last part after they aired the interview, they actually had the disclaimer stating that Ador sent a request that they be called New Jeans. So, that is as EYA, a cover your ass. That is their way of trying to get out of a lawsuit. Okay. And next is, if there is no commercial use, if the name is not used for commercial benefit, then a lawsuit is less likely to succeed. Now, the question is, since CNN actually earns from the news, is that considered a commercial benefit? They can stretch. So the lawyer of Hybe or Adore can actually stretch it, but not usually. And then the other thing is the company, that's the festival that will actually have New Jeans um, as a headliner in their festival. Can Hybe or Adore sue them? Yes, Adore and Hybe can sue them. So most likely it's going to be a CDO, a ceased and desist order first, meaning they will request Hybe or Adore will request, or Hybe America will request the festival to stop it. Well, it's going to happen in Hong Kong. So they're going to request the festival to stop it. And if they don't, then they're going to sue. Now, the tricky part is, I believe it's going to happen in Hong Kong. And I am not sure in terms of the bilateral agreement between Japan and China. I'm sure about the bilateral agreement between the US and Korea, but not if it's China, and Hong Kong is a part of China. So, the final verdict, can Adore sue? Yes, Adore can sue if media companies use NJZ in a way that misrepresents the legal status of New Jeans. And they are most likely to succeed if they are going to prove that they own the trademark. So, Hybe and Adore, Hybe America should be securing the trademark of New Jeans in all countries, not just in South Korea. And I'd be very surprised if they did not secure that in the US and in the UK. However, media outlets can still argue and say that we're simply reporting the facts. So remember, in the US especially, freedom of speech is very much honored. So I'm sure that you've heard this before, but a lot of people will say, I don't like what you're saying, but I'm going to fight for your right to say it. So that's very much implemented in the US. You're able to say, for a time, it was like they were trying to censor speech and stuff. But for the most part, you're still able to say the things that you want to say without getting sued. That is your right. It may offend people, but it is your right to say it. So here, the media can state that, like, well, we hurt your feelings, but we're just stating, we're reporting the news. So the challenge now for Ador is proving that South Korean contract is legally binding in the US, especially if New Jeans argues they are working under new agreements in the US. So the thing is that the US and Korea have a bilateral agreement. So many of the contracts in Korea, it is actually honored in the US. And many of the cases, especially if it involves a South Korean citizen, for example, judges will, and it happens like part of the case happens in South Korea, judges are most likely to just refer that back into South Korea. So the question is now, what are you going to do? What is the thing that media companies are most likely to do? Are they going to follow what Adore wanted them to do, or are they going to continue addressing New Jeans and Jay Z? So ask yourself if you're a media company or if you're an editor of a beat. A beat is like entertainment, that's a beat. White House, that's a beat. Police report, that's a beat. So if you're an editor of a beat or a section of the publication, do you really want to get sued over a group's name? Like, is that so important for you? Can you still report without defying the request of the company? Like for me, I'm not gonna get into a legal battle for a group against a big company in South Korea. So most likely companies are just going to follow the request of Hybe. And then once the decision is out, then they're going to abide by the decision, because regardless of what they call the group, it's not going to deter their ability to report the news, which is their job, right? So most likely they're just going to follow. That's certainly what I'm going to do. I'm going to report the truth, but I'm going to follow your request because I don't want to get into a legal battle with you. I go like media companies get sued day in and day out. This is not another one, for a group. Do they have, someone said that they have a financial backing of a Western company, primarily because they got interviewed by a Western uh, media company. I don't know who their backer is. I don't pretend to know. Probably they do. And you know that I've never wished them any harm. I want them to be able to continue their career. So if this is happening to them, if they are going to get sued, they are going to need a lot of money to pay the lawyers. So I do hope that they actually have a backing, because I wouldn't want them to touch their money, the money that they earned as New Jeans in the first 2 years of their career, because that's important, that they should be able to use that money to secure their future instead of spending it into something like this. And that is the advice that I would give. Like if they were my daughters or my nieces, that's the same advice I will give. Like if you want to fight this battle, don't spend your money, spend somebody else's money, not yours. The money that you earned, the 3.5 million they got paid in their second year, keep that. They should keep that. Like keep that and use that for your future, not for a legal battle against a big company like Hybe. That is not how you do it. Just if in the future you have a lot of spare, then yes, you can spend your own money for legal fees, but not at this stage in your life. Some are claiming that New Jeans will build a career in the US out of reach of Adore and Hybe. The question is, does the contract limit Adore and Hybe's rights over them in Korea, or does it also go in effect in America? And most, as I've said, Korea and the US, they have a bilateral agreement. So mostly judges in the US will actually just refer that to a US court, to a South Korean court. Now, the US court will not tolerate any violation against anybody's right, regardless of who you are, whether you're a citizen of the US or not. And there is a case here. If they know that your rights are being violated, then the court will actually step in if it goes to their table, in their court. But most of the time, they're just going to refer that. If no one is being harmed, if no right is being violated, they're just going to refer that to Korean law, to Korean court. So the question is, if what does the contract say? If the contract states that Hybe owns or Adore owns the name and owns their contract in any part of the world, then that will stand, especially in the US, because the US has a bilateral agreement with South Korea. Do they have a shot in the US and Europe? Look, They have 5 songs which went inside Billboard Hot 100 in the first 2 years of their career. They are a successful group and they have a very strong fan base. No, I have never and will never claim that they are not successful. These girls are very, very successful. They have a strong fan base and they have a loyal fan base. They have stayed inside Billboard Hot 100 in total longer than like 90% of other groups in South Korea. So yeah, they do have a shot. And I hope that their fan base was BTS. And I hope that according to One Hot Shot. So I hope that no one ever like I don't like I believe in karma. So I don't like wishing people harm because that's gonna come back to me tenfold. But more than that, it's just they are successful. So yeah, they do have a shot in the US. But let's also remember that Blackpink has way more entries inside Billboard Hot 100, have stayed inside Billboard Hot 100, both as a group and as individual members, but it's still not that easy for them. If it is, then they should have, if it is easy for them after 7 years in their career, then they would be doing stadium tours right now. But it isn't that easy. It is not impossible, but it isn't that easy. That is Blackpink. Remember, they are they have they have done world tours. They have brand representation. I mean, brand. They are brand ambassadors of some of the biggest fashion brands in the world. They have connections in the US. In fact, many of their hits, many of their entries inside Billboard Hot 100, it's actually a collaboration with many Western artists. That just proves that these girls know they actually marketed themselves and they networked well, and still they're not doing stadium tours. Jenny, as of the moment, has two concerts, one in LA and one in LA. Sorry, one in New York and one in LA, and neither is sold out. It isn't that easy. They have a chance, yes. The same way Blackpink members has a chance individually, but it's not going to be easy. They need to get signed in by a US label. And the US label, whoever is going to sign them, that US label will have to be willing to go on a legal battle against Hybe. It isn't going to be impossible. Like if it is Universal Music, for example, something big, Columbia, um, whoever, I mean, they have a legal team under retainers. So maybe they will think, yeah, sure, it's worth it. Let's go on a legal battle. Let's sign them, and then let's let the court decide. Maybe. But there is also if you're a producer, like if you're the CEO, why not just wait for the decision to come, right? I'm like, okay, I'm interested in you, but let's wait for the decision because I don't want to be paying the fine, like the penalty fee just to break your contract with Hyde. I mean, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be meeting with you. I'm going to express my intention to sign you. But still, if it's like 7 months away, sure, I'll just wait for the decision. Or I can sign a contract. And in that contract will be a provision saying that I will not be responsible in paying your fees if you lose the case. Okay. Will the management contract between Ador and New Jeans be honored in the US? So these are the provisions, the enforceability, actual provisions of the case, the enforceability of Ador's management contract with New Jeans and the US depends on several legal factors, including international contract recognition, jurisdiction, and the US labor law. Okay, so this is the actual provision of the law that will apply to this. In general, US courts recognize foreign contracts. Okay, in general, they recognize foreign contracts as long as they are legally valid in the country of origin. And in this case, the country of origin of their contract is South Korea. And they do not violate US laws or public policy. So if you are violating the rights of a kid, that's probably not going to be honored in the US because that's a violation of someone's rights. But generally, if you have a contract in South Korea, they will honor that. If Ador's contract with New Jeans is legally binding under Korean law, it can be enforced in the US through international legal agreements. Like, these are the exact provisions. The New York Convention of the Recognition and Enforcement of Foreign arbitral awards, and the bilateral agreements between South Korea and the US on civil and commercial matters. So this is the strongest hold of HYBE. If they drag them to court in the US, if they start doing business in the US, if the New Jeans members start doing business in the US and they claim that, oh, we have the right to do this because in the US, this is the provision that that HYBE can use. Nope, there is a bilateral agreement, and in that agreement it states that US is going to honor contracts that are done in South Korea. And South Korea is actually one of the strongest partners, like the long term, one of the long term partners of the US. Jurisdiction issues can ador enforce its contract in the US court. If the contract explicitly states that the disputes must be resolved in South Korean courts, then a US court may then refuse jurisdiction. Okay. So they can say, like, well, according to our contract, it actually clearly states that any conflict will have to be settled in South Korea. Then the court is just going to say, I get this out of my court. I have a lot of cases. I don't want to spend taxpayers' money. Okay. Um, Now they can argue against it and say that their US activities are separate from their Korean contracts. They can argue that, but that is going to depend highly on the contract that they have with Ador. Okay. Even if the contract is recognized, this is what I was saying earlier, it must comply with US labor laws. So if the US court actually sees that the rights of the kids, of the five girls, are being violated, they're going to step in. They're not going to allow the abuse of women if they are getting abused or mistreated. There's also a 7-year law, or a 7-year rule, that allows artists to terminate contracts after 7 years, even if the contract states otherwise. A lot of people don't know this. But artists, when you are bound by a contract with a company, an agent, or whatever, 7 years, after 7 years, you can actually get rid of that contract and nullify it, even if the contract is still valid according to the contract, for as long as 7 years have passed. That's why ordinary contracts in South Korea is also usually 7 years. It's because of this law. U.S. workers' protections. If New Jeans claims their contract is exploitative, again, if they're being mistreated, abused, or whatever, the U.S. court will not honor that. And then, of course, there's visa and employment law. It's all going to depend on the kind of visa that they're going to have when they are in the US. They do have to get an O visa, if they're going to work as a creative person in the US. Okay, so I hope that addresses your question. Do you have anything else that you want to know about this case? I'm not a lawyer, so this is a part of an initial research. There are two channels in YouTube who are owned by a lawyer, and they actually explain these cases. I posted the link of one of them. I'll post the link of the other one. I think USA companies, Blue Side said, I think USA companies would be more reluctant to sign them. Groups are expensive, and USA companies don't know how to market them. That is true. Also, the other thing is, so yes, the primary concern is that signing a group is actually expensive. You're going to have to put money in it, and and that actually turns everything, like, if I'm going to put money in you and I'm not even sure if I'm going to be asked to pay the penalty if your contract actually gets nullified, if the court says that your contract with Adore is valid, why will I get into it? Why will I get into a contract with an automatic loss in the beginning? So that's why I said, me, I'm sure that there are a lot of management companies or record labels in the US that are interested in them, but I think they will wait for the decision. Then it's a clean slate. If the court sides with New Jeans, then at least the the record label in the US will not have to pay anything. Bang Luna, could SK courts get a move and resolve this once and for all? I know, right? So they're so slow. Be reasonable, said, I think, it's too fast. Let's see. Jessica say, yes, US music contracts are very strict and binding, and their behavior of not honoring their contract makes them as a group very risky. That good point. That is a good point. As a company, I will also look at the reputation of the group, and I do that even when I have a small business. When I employ people, I do look at track record. I don't want to employ anybody, no matter how good the person is. If I have seen that they have a clear track record of going against their company or their bosses, I probably will not, because I can't afford that. Like, I'm a small business, I don't earn a lot. I almost don't earn anything. I don't want any headaches. And the music company, the recording companies, the recording industry isn't exactly in a great place right now. They definitely do not want extra expenses. Atlantic Records, which is the recording company, the record label of Bruno Mars, and others, they're actually laying off workers. That's how bad the recording industry is in the US. So, why will they sign up another artist that will just be risky, right? So, yes, that is a consideration. Okay. Leah said, okay, Carla Girl 7, how is Hanny working with her visa needing renewal? Who sponsored her? I don't know, but as I've discussed that before. I think that visa thing is the least of her problems. Um, all she needed was like $750,000 to be able to get a residency, a permanent residency in South Korea, and she has that. All she needed was to actually store the money in South Korea, and South Korea will be able to give her permanent residency status, and that's going to allow her to do any kind of economic activity in South Korea. So I think people just blew it out of proportion. It's not really an issue. I think it's like one of the minor things that she had to deal with. If you have money, it's easy to get a permanent residency in many countries, not just in South Korea. The Bio Explorer, Carla Girl, there is a I discussed that in one of my live stream, and I also did a cut, like a shorter cut of that. And it was about Hanny's visa. You'll be able to, if you search it on my YouTube channel, you'll find it. The Bio Explore, okay. Clouds and Coffee, idol groups have an uphill battle in the West anyway. I think NJ is going to try to make it a move in China. Maybe they can probably make a move in China. It will not be a very welcoming industry. Not the fans. I think the fans are okay, but it's more about doing business there, because there is tension between China and South Korea right now. And I am assuming that the tension is going to be heavier because, as I've said, the US and South Korea are very close. And our president right now, Trump, is hell bent on doing things his way, which China isn't really happy about. So, so I think the tension is going to be like it's going to compound. Okay. They are using Hybe resources like phoning to promote NJZ, which makes me believe they will give Hybe a cut of their activities. Oh, I don't know about phoning. I think at the end of the day, and I've said this before in many of my live stream before, I think the resolution is going to be a little closer to the resolution of TVXQ versus SM. And that is, the court said, don't stop them from doing their activities. You need to allow them to work. But they also required the three members who nullified their contract, who terminated their contract, to give SM a cut of their pay, of their earnings, until they're able to pay the penalty. So she may already have done the Bio Explorer. She may already have done the residency visa and just not saying anything. I don't think she would have to tell Ador. That the Bio Explorer, that is also my God. That even before everything started, she already had that process. That's why she wasn't really nervous about it. That's just my God. Either, yeah, probably before all of this started, she already got it processed. Thinking reality, I fear Jazzy J. Thinking reality, I fear for BTS when they come here to the US. Trump wants to help North Korea and pull military bases from South Korea and give 5 Korea tariff. That is not true. Um, South Korea is still a very close ally of the US. And I don't think that's going to change anytime soon because of geographic tactical moves. um, the basis of the partnership of South Korea, of US and South Korea is very strong because both countries are using each other for tactical reasons, military tactical reasons. So I don't think that's going to change. It's going to be very North Korea is not a very good partner for the US because they don't have as many resources and as much of a stronger economy as South Korea. So South Korea is more beneficial as a partner. Don't listen to things like that. I mean, BTS are still in the military, and so how are they able to book jobs without ador? Um, they have a staff. Remember, many of the staff of ador actually went with them. So they resigned, remember? So they resigned from ador and went with New Jeans. So these are the same people who already know how to book gigs, to get brand deals. They've been working with Hive for a very long time. They've already probably developed their networks. And my gut is that many brands are just waiting for the resolution and then they'll sign New Jeans again. Again, New Jeans is very successful and they have a large fan base. So, um, okay, so Jazzy J said, I hope not, and I hope you're right. When it comes to big moves like partnerships with other countries, you have to like really think about what the US is going to gain. There's a lot you can say about Trump. This guy is by far not a saint, but one thing he knows is money. So he's going to be very practical about the use of that. Do they really have a large fan base? Bang Luna is asking, do they really have a large fan base? Um, for now, that's what the numbers say. That is what the numbers say. So they there is no way for us to prove otherwise, and the numbers say that they have a large fan base. So um yeah, so that is all I, I can say. Like, they have a Billboard is a hard chart to crack, and they have 5 entries. So, and they have, in terms of Spotify streams, they still are probably second to Blackpink. So that's like a huge lead. Maybe third after uh after twice, maybe third. And they're just 2 years old. So Rosie is asking, I thought they still needed to ask for permission from Ador for the visa. Granted, they didn't consider Ador their employer, but I remembered reading that somewhere. Um, if you're going to, as far, I'm not a lawyer, but if you would remember, there I did some. We're trying to do some business with South Korea, so I kind of had to go through some things for visa processing. I can't say much, but you can concurrent. You can do two things at the same time. So you can process your well, not O visa, but your employment visa, and you can also process your permanent residency. A large fan base that initially had Army too. June said, a large fan base that initially had Army too. One Hot Sean, their next comeback will just be them and their fans, not Army boosting them. Okay. All right. So one Hot Shot said all prior data it isn't accurate. Okay, because Army is trying to boost them. Okay. So let's get to something more fun. How about that? I feel Hoan said, I feel like New Jeans concept would only work in Korea, not the US. They're changing their concept though. They are changing their concept. Will they be selling army bombs at the J-Hope concert? That's what I heard, that they will be selling army bombs. I have the old one. I mean, not the old one, but like the one that. Okay, the most beautiful moment in life. So the reason I'm actually going through their past content is I'm trying to do a series that will lead up to their return and the celebration of the 10th anniversary of the most beautiful moment in life. And it is really where everything started, right? All of their succeeding BU, their succeeding music videos, it always comes back to the most beautiful moment in life. So it's a very important part of their their discography and also their artistic journey, because this is where everything started. And this is the magnum opus of Suga. Can you believe that? All of this started with his brain. Suga, huh? Okay, tomorrow I'm going to get called out for having Suga as my bias. Okay, so I was going through it. As I was going through it, I also remembered some of the less popular theories, protest. Okay, so some less popular theories about the series, about the BU, um, primarily because Beth said, I love Sugar, so do I. So these are some unpopular theories because some of them came later. Like some fans sort of just woke up one day and said, I have an idea. And I'm one of them. Some of these are my theory. Okay, so the first one. So remember the scene in Run, right? Do you remember the scene when they were going? So Jin was driving the pickup, the truck, and all the other members went down and they were like creating havoc in the tunnel. And the theory that some people had is that Jin is the only one alive, which is a contrast, a contrast of the more popular theory, and that is that Jin was the one who passed away and is trying to revive everything else. So they think that in this scene, this is Jin's imagination. So the six aren't real. He's just imagining them, and that is why people in the cars aren't reacting, because they all passed away already, and this is just Jin imagining, reliving the past. And he is reliving it because he failed to save them. Okay, so that's theory number one. Next, so if you would remember, the last, supposedly the last major music video they had is On. After that, they were going to do a tour, do some solo activities, and and then enlist in the military. I love this photo too. So, and then their very first in this Bangtan universe, their very first is I Need You, right? The theory, and as you know, each era is actually connected to each other because there's a lot of elements that they are actually using from a previous era, they're using in the new era. For example, fire. It has always been identified with Shoga, and it was used in Wings, it was used in um, Love Yourself, and it was also used in The Most Beautiful Moment in Life. The Bio Explorer said there is the photo when he noticed at the beach that the other person wasn't in it. Yes, I will show that in a bit. So remember that, like this was the first. I Need You is actually the music video that started it all in Korea, and the last one was actually this one, On. So the theory is that the timeline is actually reverse. So it's their first life, and then you go back into Wings, go back to Love Yourself, sorry, yeah, Wings, Love Yourself, Wings, and then on to I Need You, The Most Beautiful Moment in Life. So through time, in each lifetime that they've lived, they've always been connected, and in each lifetime, in each generation, Jin has been trying to correct the mistakes in order to save everybody. So it is, the entire timeline is actually in reverse. This is their first life, and then you go back, and this is their current life. That is why the youth series actually took off from here, because this is the present now. So everything else will now be about trying to save them in their current life. So that's theory number two. The timeline is reverse. Okay. I hope that you all know that BTS already had several short films, and usually a series of short films. So this is the highlight reel. That is actually what they call it, the highlight reel of Love Yourself. So have you all seen this? Because it's going to be a spoiler if you haven't seen it. So they had several short films. They had a series of short films in Wings. And then this one is for love yourself. So, okay. So this is the first scene in that series for love yourself. Urban Squirrel, you haven't seen that? Okay, I have to search love yourself highlight reel. But I'm going to spoil it. So I don't know if you want to stay because I might spoil it. One hot shot. Everything about this is confusing to me. Everything. Okay. Um, so just remember that this theories, it's actually not in order. So I'm just going through some of the theories that came back to me while I was reviewing their Bangtan universe. So this is the very first scene in the highlight reel of Love Yourself. It was Jin seeing a girl. So she saw a girl, and then the girl dropped the diary. And then later on, he goes back. He will actually meet this girl. Now, the theory is that this is not a love interest. This is actually his mother. For all of you who has seen Youth, the series, you will know that Jin actually lost his mom. When he was very little, he lost his mom. And his mother is most likely the one that holds the key to time travel. Because there's a certain video that he keeps on going back to, and he's trying to decode something in that video, and my guess is that it has something to do with time travel. So this girl that he saw, it's his mother, and he was going back in time to meet the mother. That is why it seems that the girl didn't even see him in here. Like she didn't even look back to glance at him, even though he was staring at him. So that is not a love interest, that is his mother. Okay. For Jin, the entire thing, the key into how he will be able to save the other boys is a choice. It will always be a choice between saving his mother or saving his friends. So he longs for his mom. He doesn't have a very good relationship with his father. And he's hell bent in looking for an answer on where his mother is, or what happened to his mother. And I think that the choice is the only way he can save all of his friends, if he gives up on his mother. If he tries or makes a decision to save his mom, then he's going to lose his friends. So it's a tragedy for him. It's catch 22. So Jimin, okay, next theory. Jimin is consistently connected to water, from I Need You all the way to Wings and all the way to Love Yourself. It has always been um it has always been water. On the other hand, Suga is always connected to fire. I think, and if you have actually seen, I don't know if you read the book. Have you read the notes? Have you read the notes? If you have, you will know that in the book, Suga is the one Jin couldn't save. He couldn't save Suga. So he was like, there will be times when he's able to save everybody else. This book, the notebook, the notes, not the notebook, the notes, they call it the notes. So this supplements Love Yourself. There are two, one and two. So is that the Stand By Me book? No. Nope. It's just the notes. So what is the title? The Notes. That's the title. So in this book, Suga is the only one Jin can't save. So he keeps on going back in time, right? And it's called the notes. Yeah, the notes. That's what it's called. The notes. So in here, so Jin keeps on going back in time to try and save everybody, change things, but Suga is the one person he couldn't save because he would always find a way to do what he wants to do. change the time, change the location, but he would always set things on fire. Wherever he is, he would set it on fire. He's the one person he couldn't save. I think Jimin is actually the key to saving Suga. If their elements, the two elements that are always connected or complement each other, I guess, is water and fire. And Jimin has always been connected to water, while Suga has always been connected to fire. I think it's Jimin who holds the key into saving Suga. And the reason I also think that is in the short film and in Run BTS, I think, or I Need You, Jimin was shown burning a note and the picture. So he was the one, twice in two different instances, he was the one who was shown burning something. And I think that is the key for Jin to be able to save Suga. Okay. Now, if you watch the highlight reel, the series of short films, you would know that Jungkook actually ended up in a wheelchair. So this is the moment when he got into an accident and ended up in the wheelchair. That is actually what pushed Suga into the edge, and he decided to burn everything else around him, including himself. So the theory is that Jungkook actually died, and that's what pushed Suga to burn his room. They had a fight. Suga and Jungkook had a fight. So Jungkook went off on his own, and Suga went off on his own. He got into trouble. He got run over. In the short film, he was shown in a wheelchair in a hospital. So the the interpretation is that he actually just he got into an accident, like he was just paralyzed or something. He wasn't. That is my theory. He actually died, and the reason I think that is in this scene, the girl that he was with in the hospital is gone, and I think it was because he is not able to see anything anymore because he crossed over. Okay, next theory. If you would notice, this girl is the member of ITZY. And in the highlight reel, it seems that there is a love triangle between J-Hope, Jimin, and the girl. However, I don't think that's the case. I think the girl is connected to Jimin's past, and that's why he didn't help J-Hope save the girl. Remember, when they were in the rain, J-Hope actually run to save the girl. I think she got injured or something. And Jimin actually just looked at them, let them go. He didn't help. And I think it's because the girl is connected to Jimin's past. I don't know if you have seen the youth series, but in the youth series, Jimin actually went through a traumatic experience. They made it appear as if he witnessed an abuse. It could be more. It could be more because they, as you know, in the youth series, they didn't actually finish the story. So at the end of the series, you will have more questions than answers. And so one of the questions that I had in my head is that was he was he more than just a witness to the abuse? But yeah, so that's my theory that the girl that J Hope was with is actually not a love interest for them. For Jimin, she was a part of his past. Like he saw something in that girl that reminded him of his past. So the Bio Explorer said, I so much hope for a second season. And Bang Luna said, the writers of this story really like to put us through the ringer. Okay. Um, T Style said, me too, Fairly, so glad to hear someone else say it. Okay, so do you have questions? Any clarification about the Bangtan universe, the Love Yourself series, the Wings series, the Most Beautiful Moment in Life series? Anything that you want to clarify about the. Now, the beauty of this entire thing is that it is open to interpretation, right? I don't think they meant it to have one answer until they actually come out with a movie or a series, which they did. But as I've said, it feels like session zero for me. It's a prequel more than anything because I had more questions than answers by the end of the series. But I think they really meant it to make us interpret the story and give our like different perspectives. So I don't think there's like one correct answer until they release their own. Are the notes questions? by Katie Dreams. The notes are sold out on Weavers, but I wonder if they will go back on sale for the 10th anniversary. I hope they do. I hope they do. So I have this habit of buying two of everything that I buy from them. Because, like, for example, an album, I will open one and then just keep the other one unopened. So I usually have two, right? Except for this, I just have one. So I really tried to take care of it because I don't want it spoiled. So I had to rewrap it after reading because I really want to take care of it. But if I have a choice, I do want to buy another one. But I hope that they actually re-release this, and I hope that they have like a three and a four. So this is one and two. Pampered Panda said, "Companies love you only for BTS. I don't do that for anything else." Oh, this is so funny. I want to share with everybody. So someone made left a very angry comment in my YouTube video. It's related to new jeans. The guy, well, the picture is a guy. I don't know if it's a real guy, but the picture is a guy, and he was like, so he went on a rant, um, and one of the ways that he insulted me was to call my blinds a cheap $10 blinds from Costco. I know, sorry, Home Depot. Cheap $10 blinds from Home Depot. I wanted to respond and say, "Excuse me, it's $5.99." It is not $10. It's $5.99. It actually came with the apartment, so I don't know how much it is. I clean it to make sure that I don't have to buy another one, but I don't know how much it is. But to keep my room darker, I have like paper there. There's nothing on the other side. It's just a fence. So I have paper here behind it just to make sure that my room is really dark when I sleep. But and this is like $2.99. And then $2.99, there's like five of it. And then this one came with the apartment. So I don't know how much it is. Probably $5.99, right? Isn't that how much a blind usually is? But it was just funny. Like, oh, so this is your way of insulting me by calling my blinds $10.99, cheap $10.99 blinds from Home Depot. Excuse me, it's $5.99. So, um, Fire Butterfly, hey, just popping in to say goodnight. Good night. Chris Dell, imagine insulting your furniture because his arguments are so shit. It was funny. It was really funny. I was like, this cheap $10.99 blinds from Home Depot. I'm like, that's the best you've got. Okay. Wait until you hear how much I buy my clothes. I want to give you further ammunition, so I won't tell you that I have clothes that are 10 years old. It was so funny. People, if you're going to insult people, if you're going to try and insult people, don't do that. Don't insult their physical appearance or whatever. Not because of whatever, but it says something about you more than the person that you're trying to insult. Like, that's the best you've got. You're going to insult my blinds of all things. He could have said like you've. I was like, really by now I'm expecting that some people are going to say like you've worn that jacket like 500 times in your videos. I would probably say yeah. Because I don't buy a lot of clothes. I told you a lot of my clothes are actually 10 years old. Like I've had them for 10 years. I still have clothes that came from the Philippines when I moved here. I migrated here. I've had those clothes and I still have them. 10 years old. And I thought like you could have said that. You chose the blinds. Okay. Funny response to that guy's comment. But I also came across a YouTuber who was giving you glowing reference for your presentation of legal assessment of NJ cases. Oh, thank you. But I'm not a lawyer, though. I'm sure it's like it's always good. I don't mind like if there's somebody who's like a legal expert or a lawyer who'll comment and say, "Hey, you got this wrong," or whatever. I absolutely love that because we're all learning. Imagine getting free advice and free knowledge from an actual lawyer or somebody who actually knows something, right? Like from an expert. You pay for those things and then I get it for free just because somebody wants to comment. So I like those comments if I get corrected or whatever. So keep them coming. I don't mind. How immature and sad. It was just so funny. Like, of all things you could have insulted, why my lovable blinds? The blinds I don't care for. Well, I actually care for it. I do clean it regularly, by the way. I'll be 77 and I sport a jean jacket. Lol, I don't look 77 anyways. I'm sure you don't look 77. The guy sounds like a 12-year-old. I don't know how old he is. I don't even know if that's like him actually on the picture, but his profile picture is a guy. So that is pathetic and childish. It was funny. Like the comments that I get are sometimes, my God, they make my day. I was like, what's wrong with a Home Depot? With Home Depot blinds? They're good quality. A lot of my stuff, like a lot of the things that I buy, just come from Amazon. Like the desk that I have is just got it's. I think it's $99 or whatever. I'm not. If you see me, don't expect that it's like I'm wearing something expensive. The most expensive stuff that I have is BT20, like BTS merch. Other than that, I do spend on shoes because because that's important. I mean, I move all day long at work, so I need something comfortable. But when I say expensive, it's not like 1 grand, right? Like I think my most expensive purchase for sneakers or running shoes is about 175 maybe, Nike free. But usually I just wait for a certain, like the after season, is that what they call it? Post season, after whatever that is called. When out of season, there we go. I wait for the out of season sale and then I'll buy them because like running shoes is running shoes regardless. So I don't care if it's like a spring or whatever, for as long as it's comfortable and whatever. Yeah. BTS merchandise costs more than the blinds. They definitely do. They definitely do. I think I bought this for 19.99 plus shipping. So okay, Nikes are great shoes. I still have my one pair from my first concert. They are great shoes. So there are two that I like, Nike and Adidas. Um, I like Nike Free. And then for running, Pegasus, Nike Pegasus for running. And then and Adidas is also good, but I don't like, there's only certain styles that I, this is not sponsored, by the way. This is not sponsored. KAG Jazzy J. I'm 60. I'm 60. Don't look it. We still have it. Can hang with the young ones, lol. Definitely, definitely. You know, I really love hanging out with like people who are already retired, who's lived their lives, because quite honestly, they're more fun to be with because they're carefree. Because like they're done with their obligations in life, so they're just having fun, right? They're done with family matters. Kids are out of their houses, they're living their own lives. So it feels like they're just living their lives for themselves, so they're so fun to be with because they don't have any worries anymore. And then they don't care about anything. Like we don't give an f about what other people are saying. We're just going to do what likes them, what we like to do. So I always have fun hanging out with retirees, and I also have boots like JK, the ankle ones with big soles. Young ones be looking at me. That is me living my life, and that is how it should be. Honestly, that's how it should be. Okay, someone was asking a question which is not connected. It was about lesserafim. Was it about lesserafim? But I was in the middle of like BTS theories, so I couldn't really. Can you, whoever you are, can you ask the question again? I saw it. I couldn't stop what I was doing. I'm trying to look for it. Okay, so can you just ask it again? It was about like, oh, this is out of topic. That was a question. Can we see your collection of what? Of BTS merch? Okay, I will set it up here, but I will cover my $10 blinds. in the other setup that I have. Okay, so the reason I changed my setup is when my mom joined me. So this room that I'm using right now is my bedroom now, but it used to just be my office. So this apartment is like Korean style. Um, it has two bedrooms. We don't really have like a living room. It's just a kitchen and the dining area outside. So she has, of course, she took the master's bedroom, which I used to have when I was living alone. Now that she joined me, so I had to move to a smaller room. But it used to be, the orientation is a little different before. I had some stuff behind me, and many of my BTS merch were actually behind me. So so now I'm in a smaller room. I just had to make do with whatever I have. Initially, I was going to post. So, as you know, I'm writing a novel. I'm getting there. So I did this because I wanted to like post the characters and give you updates on the novel. But this one is not working. So I bought another one. Um, so I'll fix that. But the orientation, why was I saying that? So the orientation used to be very different because I had stuff behind me where my collections were. But once, so my plan is to sort of move someday, I guess. There's just something that I need to finish while I'm here before I actually think about moving. But the intention is to move so I can just have like a bigger space where I can shoot and have a better like setup. But this apartment is really really small. I'm not like, if you're I don't think I will ever get to a point where I have like this huge office or this huge studio, because that's just not my personality. I'm not I'm not a big spender on myself. I think like if something will do, then I will just settle with that. I'm okay with that if it will do the job. Now, if I reformat the show and the show requires something like a bigger setup, then I'll spend. But if I can make do with something, I just do that. So to that guy who was trying to insult me with this, that material thing is the last thing that will get to me. Quite honestly. Um, you've got it wrong. Like, try something else, try another strategy, but insulting me with my clothes or my blinds or the lack of setup, it's not the way. Try something else, but that's not how I roll. Like, I would rather, if I have extra, this, like, for especially for my Patreon subscribers, I would rather help dogs. We're donating to a child to put the child through school and stuff. Like, I would rather spend on that, and of course I spend on my mom and my loved ones. Like, if they want something and I can afford it, I buy it. But for me especially, like, the house is, if it's livable, it's clean, I'm happy. So, wrong way of insulting me. Find another way. That's a tip. Okay. Me Too is asking. Garam was the sixth original member of LeSerafim who was asked to leave because of bullying accusations, but she was actually defending someone who had been bullied. Um, okay, so yeah, so that was the question. Okay, so about Garam. So LeSerafim actually had a sixth member. Hybe trivia. Hybe has been trying to debut a six-member group for the longest time. So they tried with Le Seraphim. They used to be six, and then they also tried with Isle It. Both times they had to drop one member, and of course it's tragic for the. I'm not tragic, but it's sad. I don't think it's tragic because their life. It's not like their life ended or anything, but it's sad that they left because these girls are talented and they obviously worked very very hard to be able to debut, and then last minute they got dropped. And for Garam, she actually debuted with Le Seraphim, but she had to leave because someone accused her of bullying. Now, later on, so in the beginning, Hybe was trying to mend it. So they went to court and they were trying to defend Garam. She's a beautiful young lady. And but then eventually, I think, I don't know. So they decided to just drop her. Either that or the girl just decided to leave. Either way, eventually it was proven that she was defending a friend. She was defending a friend. Now, she said very, very harsh things to the other person, which is expected because they violated her friend's body. I mean, they exposed her. So she said, like, she cursed. Basically, she cursed other people, and to them that already constitutes bullying. Now, the big mistake, I guess we can call it that, the big mistake of her parents is that they admitted it on paper that it was her fault, and they accepted her suspension instead of fighting it and taking it to the court. So legally, on paper, she admitted that she bullied somebody even though she didn't. So, cut the story short, she left, and now people are asking. And then the same thing happened with I'll It. As you know, there were six members. One of them is Yonso, again, a talented young lady, and um, she left for some reason. They didn't give a reason. They just said that it was a mutual decision, and she decided to leave. Uh, and that was it. She didn't debut with I'll It. Now, a lot of people are saying that the former CEO of Ador actually had something to do with it. Like all of this, controversies, all of this were being leaked. All of this information, these pieces of information were being leaked by the former CEO of Ador. So now that she's out, they're asking, like, can they bring her back? Since that woman is out now, can they bring her back? And I don't know the answer to that. I'm not a high um, insider. I know people are saying that I'm getting paid by Hive. They won't even give me free tickets to any concert, let alone pay me. But it's okay. I talk a lot about BTS. I'm okay and I'm happy with BTS. So going back, I don't know, but I don't think that she is going to come back. Um, I don't think Hyunso is going to come back. What I do hope is for them to be able to pave their own way for themselves. I honestly hope that they get to establish their own career and they become very, very successful, so that they can prove to everybody, especially to themselves, that that was a traumatic or that was a sad part in their lives, but it wasn't the end. That that only pushed them towards what they really are meant to become. That's my hope for them. These are two beautiful, talented people, and they don't deserve what happened to them. Bang Luna, good night. Um, okay, so that is my answer to that question. But she's a very, very Garam is very beautiful. A lot of people were actually saying um, that she was going to be the next it girl of of K-pop because she's pretty, very, very pretty. Okay, is that it? That was a question. The Bio Explorer, sorry about that. It's awful. We lost about 90% of everything we had. The river to live in my house for a week. It had never flooded there before. Oh my God, that is, I'm so sorry, the Bio Explorer. Lost everything in the hurricane. It's one of the toughest. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know what else to say. I hope that everything is taken care of now. And I hope that like FEMA is kicking in, like assistance from the government is kicking in. I hope that you get all the help that you deserve. I think idols who do well in China have Chinese heritage. Well, true. So usually many idols in South Korea will build a career in the US and then they will go back to China and start building a career there. Like members of EXO, they had three members of EXO who actually went back to China. Okay, the flood came up because I was asking about your book. Can you show me the cover again? I've wanted to replace mine. Does yours have one? Yes, so one and two. So that this is the front. So obviously I have the English version. I don't have the Korean version. So I had to read, so, and it also has like a free notebook. Can you see it? So this is the free notebook, which I never used. So after reading them, because I really want to take care of it, I rewrapped it. Because I should have bought two. I did not do that. Okay. Sorry for all the tragedies. KG is considered a powerful and mystical number. Seven is considered a powerful and mystical number. The fates truly came together for BTS. Yeah, seven is considered like a perfect number. Government haven't seen them. Hopeful Trump does something. Kathy Swamp Queen, where are you from? Um, thanks. I was trying to remember. Yeah, it has one and two. I have Fates Chacos. Um, so my plan is, so I'm doing a series, guys. I'm doing a series. I hope that you're watching my video on YouTube. I'm doing a series about their royal heritage of BTS members. And tomorrow for me, later for some of you, it's going to be Jimin. He has an interesting heritage. And this one is a little different because the parks can be traced, their heritage, their lineage is actually well documented. And they came from one person. So I'm going to talk about that. But he has like an interesting lineage. Next one will be Namjoon, also very interesting. So the good thing about Seokjin, Taeyong, RM is that the three of them actually stated where they came from, like their lineage, their clan basically. And then for Jimin, it came from one guy. So it's well documented. Um, he actually started a royalty in South Korea. So it's going to be RM. It's going to be Jimin tonight, and then or tomorrow night, depending on where you are, and then RM Thursday, and then Phaedra. Is Phaedra here? Phaedra requested something like she wants me to go through like the different last names of South Korea. I'll do that and then finish. I'll do J-Hope, Suga, and then Seokjin. I want to start, but not had to find the moment to do it. I am curious. FEMA, the Bio Explorer. Oh, wait, I did ask where you're from. I love the series. Leah Barton said the Bio Explorer said FEMA didn't really help us much either, but we made it anyway. I was very touched by family, friends, and strangers that helped. So the Bio Explorer, where are you from? Because I heard, is this North Carolina? I've been watching the series. Me Too said I've been watching the series. Sinri said I do watch them. It's so interesting. This series that had me reading. And also it made me a little jealous because we don't have this documentation in the Philippines. In South Korea, they were really good at documenting. And it's actually thanks to, well, watch the series, the next one that I'm publishing, because the man that I was talking about actually is partly responsible for making sure that everything is documented. So it's easy for them to trace their lineage. We don't have that in the Philippines. Like we don't know where we came from. Like how many how many different DNAs came together to create this? We don't know. Um, okay, so where will you do that at? I want to make sure I watch KG in YouTube videos, the long form videos. I'm done with Jungkook and V. So the next one tonight or tomorrow night, depending on where you are, is Park Jimin. So watch the YouTube long form videos. I want to start. Okay. How are NJs paying their staff? That's a good question. Some people are saying they do have financial backers, and some people are saying probably from their own pockets, which is a big mistake. But this is just my opinion. Like, really, for me, if they were my nieces, I'm going to tell them, honey, keep your money to yourself. That's for your future. And you just use somebody else's money to fight Hybe, but don't use your money. Miki said, I researched Suga's heritage. He also mentioned his heritage, which is also interesting. So I guess everyone is also confirmed except for Jungkook and Hosok. Okay. South Carolina said, but the Bio Explorer said South Carolina. My flood was the flood of the millennium 10 years ago. The name didn't age well. Oh, that was 10 years ago. Wow. If it wasn't for local and volunteers, I'd starved. I love volunteers. Bellatrix, I know, believe me, I have seen some buildings survive huge earthquakes because they were built by experts. I'm the first one to know the pain of engineers. I am architect, but it is worse. Okay. Are you able to follow your lineage using church Bibles? Just wondering. No. I mean, you can see the lineage of the church, the Bible characters, but our lineage, no. It's interesting to see how so many Koreans have one syllable last names and two syllable first names. Yeah. I'll watch them after this. Interesting. Suga is really amazing. He is amazing. I fell in love with three groups: ZB1, CYE, and Polarix. Genealogy is amazing. It is amazing. Okay, we are on our 2 hour mark, so don't want to hold you back any longer. I'm going to do another live for now. So Wednesday, and then I'll try to do so Wednesday. By that time, J Hope's tickets, the ticketing is done. Good luck to everybody who's going to try for tickets on Tuesday. As I've said, we do have some tickets for suites, Texas, LA. We have some extra tickets for New York. Just sign up in Patreon. We do have a free subscription, so you'll be able to access that. And then for everybody who's going to try and get tickets for tomorrow, good luck. I don't know if I will even try. I will probably try just so I can help one army that would. I don't know. I do have sweet already, so I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't to give way to other armies. I don't know. um, but yeah, so good luck everybody, and then I'll catch up with you on Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining me. Oh, and I will try to do 7:30 just to make it even earlier for some people. So I'll try to do that if I can. So 8 o'clock is kind of working for me. Maybe I can do it 7:30 if I prepare even earlier than that. All right, thank you everybody. Thank you. I'll see you soon to everybody who's going to watch the concert in LA. I'll see you soon. Bye.